Close your eyes for a second. Imagine the middle class. What do you see? Probably a 3-bedroom house in the suburbs with a white picket fence. A reliable car in the driveway, a yearly family vacation. And maybe, just maybe, a secure retirement waiting at the end of a 40-year career. For decades, this wasn't just a dream, it was the standard. It was the promise of America. If you work hard, play by the rules, and get a decent job, you will be comfortable. Let's talk about the number that used to be the golden ticket, $100,000 a year. 20 years ago, a 6-figure salary meant you had made it. You were upper middle class, you bought the boat, you invested. Today? In major cities like New York, San Francisco, or even developing hubs like Austin and Miami, $100,000 is the new $60,000. This is the income illusion. While wages have technically risen, purchasing power has stagnated for decades. If we adjust for real inflation, not just the CPI, which often excludes volatile costs, the average worker's buying power peaked in the 1970s. Think about that. We have smartphones, AI, and global connectivity. Yet financially, the average worker had more security 50 years ago than they do today. There is a term for this new reality. ALICE visual, text on screen, asset limited, income constrained, employed. Narrator. It stands for asset limited, income constrained, employed. These are people who have jobs, sometimes 2 or 3, but cannot afford the basic necessities of survival because the cost of living has outpaced wages by a terrifying margin. You aren't middle class just because you aren't on welfare. If you are one missed paycheck away from disaster, you aren't middle class. You are the working poor with a better credit score. Assassin number 1, housing. This is the single biggest factor. In the 1960s, the median home price was about roughly 3 times the median household income. It was attainable. Today, in many markets, the median home price is 7, 8, or even 10 times the median income. Hedge funds and private equity firms are buying up single-family homes to turn them into permanent rentals. We are moving from a nation of owners to a nation of renters. And when you rent, you build zero equity. You cannot pass a rental lease down to your children. This breaks the chain of generational wealth that built the middle class in the first place. Assassin number 2, healthcare. The United States is the only developed nation where a medical emergency can bankrupt a middle-class family. Even with insurance, deductibles and premiums have skyrocketed. A study found that over 60% of all bankruptcies in the U.S. were tied to medical issues. Imagine working for 30 years, saving diligently, and then losing it all because you got cancer. That level of fragility does not exist in a healthy middle class. Assassin number 3, education. College was supposed to be the ladder up. Now it's a weight around your neck. Tuition has increased by nearly 200% in the last 20 years. We are sending 18-year-olds into the world with mortgage-sized debt but without the house. This delays marriage, delays buying a home, and delays having children. It arrests the development of an entire generation. During the pandemic, we heard a lot about the K-shaped recovery, but this concept applies to the entire modern economy. The K represents the bifurcation of America. On the upper arm of the K, you have the asset owners. If you owned stocks, real estate, or crypto over the last decade, you became significantly wealthier. Your money made money. On the lower arm of the K, you have the wage earners. If you rely solely on a paycheck, you are getting crushed by inflation. This is why the economy feels so confusing. You see headlines saying GDP is up or the stock market is at an all-time high, and you wonder, why do I feel so broke? Because the stock market is not the economy. The stock market is a measurement of corporate profit and asset value. The economy for you is the price of eggs, the cost of rent, and the fear of layoffs. The middle class was the bridge between the rich and the poor. As that bridge collapses, we are left with a massive gap. A small aristocracy of capital owners and a vast proletariat of service workers. The latter is missing its middle rungs. This structural change creates a vicious cycle. A shrinking middle class means less consumer spending. Less spending means businesses suffer. Businesses suffering means layoffs. And layoffs push more people out of the middle class. It is not just an economic problem, it is a societal stability problem. History tells us that a stable democracy requires a stable middle class. Without it, populism rises, unrest grows, and the social fabric tears apart. So, is the American dream dead? Maybe the old version is. The version where you work 9 to 5 at one company for 40 years and retire with a gold watch, that is gone. The middle class isn't just disappearing, it's evolving into something harder, more competitive. To survive in this new economy, the rules have changed. Passive income is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. Financial literacy isn't a hobby, it's a survival skill. The reliance on a single employer is now the biggest risk you can take. We have to stop measuring our success by the metrics of 1950. We aren't going back there. The white picket fence might need to be replaced by a duplex you rent out, or a remote career that lets you live in a cheaper area. The system is squeezing us, yes, but understanding how it squeezes us is the first step to pushing back. The middle class was a historical anomaly. It was a beautiful moment in time created by unique circumstances after World War II. Maintaining it requires more than just hard work now. It requires systemic change and aggressive personal adaptation. I want to hear from you. Look at your own life. Do you feel richer or poorer than your parents did at your age? Are you holding on to the middle class, or do you feel yourself slipping? This is a conversation we need to have because the numbers don't lie, but your stories tell the truth. Thanks for watching. If you found value in this analysis, hit that like button. It helps us navigate the algorithm.
What exactly are you
See you in the
doing to
next
make
one.
this jungle great again?